gotta show me love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta show me trust. Yeah. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show me love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta show me trust. If you're looking for inclusion, then talk to me. Talk to the family tree. We can all ride when it's time to slide on our enemies. And we can all ride when it's time to override these policies. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show me love. No more riding with lies. You gotta show me trust. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show me love. No more riding with lies. You gotta show me trust. You wanna ride with us, you gotta show me love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta show me trust. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show me love. No more riding with lies. You gotta show me trust. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show me love. No more riding with lies. You gotta show me trust.
So I was a great pound, great British pound, and they might say now that the dollar's low now. Come back tomorrow, dollar might be high because it swings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Bitcoin has its own market, and sometimes it's much more stable. So when the Bitcoin it's not stable all the time, but when the Bitcoin is $80,000, if you got one Bitcoin, it's worth $80,000. Now I was around when Bitcoin was $1 now, because I'm just a black tax. Black people don't pay for information, and I'm trying to give them information. So do you have my Cash App? do you have my Cash App? I'm gonna put.
Now, these guys with the Cash App thing, right? So there's a purpose for the super chat feature. There's a purpose for the Cash App, option. It's for folks who feel like they want to donate a little bit of their hard-working income, right? You can't guilt trip them into donating, right? These are real human beings. These are folks from the lineage. So you put the Cash App up there. Hey, man, family, support, like, subscribe, you dig, notification bell, the simple stuff. That's all first and foremost. And then the last, in the back of the seats back there. Anybody want to super chat or donate to the channel, go ahead and do that. You dig? But that's lastly, like the most important things are for you guys to like the video. That's why I keep emphasizing, like the video. And those who haven't subscribed, subscribe. And the notification bell, click that. So when we are live, right away to pull up and give a strong attendance, make the channel, look strong like it should be, because strong information is being given, right? But the monetary donation, that's not a must. That's not a requirement. That's for those who got an extra little something that felt like they want to send it to a brother or sister who they believe is informing themselves and the masses. putting out hard working. But it's not mandatory. You're not obligated. Like I don't have a Patreon. I don't have a membership thing. You feel me? Like that. If you want somebody to pay you monthly, then you go get a Patreon. You go get a membership thing, and then they can whatever. But if you ain't doing that, all of people hard earned money is totally voluntarily. They're not obligated. It's not mandated. All right. But these Pan Africans, oh boy, yeah, they make that feature mandated, but they're too afraid to go get a membership and charge folks. They're too afraid to go get a Patreon and have folks pay for that. Instead, they want to guilt trip you to send them a few dollars. And if this ain't begging, then nothing's begging. What's the difference between this man's actions and the next man's actions and an actual panhandler in New York? It's funny that all these guys that's doing this begging, they're from New York. This guy and the next guy I'm gonna show you are from New York. And panhandling, I don't know who panhandles more than New Yorkers. Check it out.
Great, great.
You're gonna never respect this guy again. Look what he says.
And they might say, nah, the dollar's low now. Come back tomorrow, dollar might be high because it swings, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the Bitcoin has its own market, and sometimes it's much more stable. So when the Bitcoin it's not stable all the time, but when the Bitcoin is $80,000, if you got one Bitcoin, it's worth $80,000. Now, I was around when Bitcoin was $1.
Did you invest in Bitcoin? Obviously not, because you wouldn't be begging for cash apps and super chats.
Yeah, because I'm just a black tax. Black people don't pay.
So the people who invited this brother to do a presentation, he did like a 5-hour presentation. Like he took advantage of their time. Like, come on, dude. And a lot of these Pan-Africans, they think if they just talk a lot, somehow that'll be considered as brilliance. If you think about all these Pan-Africans, they just do a lot of talking, a lot of random information that doesn't make any sense. It's not pointing you anywhere. There's no conclusion. There's no summary, just a lot of talking and all over the place, pretending they're smart, pretending they're giving you information that's worth a certain value. Oh shit, I hate this fucking computer to be doing that.
Pay for information, and I'm trying to give them information. So do you have my Cash App? do you have my Cash App?
Okay, so that's what they do. They act like they're teaching the people for free, and then they'll talk about their Cash App, and then he just called it a black tax. So brother, is it free information or does it cost money? So family, they're too afraid to just charge you from the door, at the door. So these folks are the type of people that allow you into the party and then tax you and then charge you. So my uncle did that. My uncle had a Pacquiao and I think Mayweather fight. I think he had that. And he was like, "Yeah, man." I said, "I got some friends. I had this Spanish friend, his boy, and his girl that I used to work with him, but we used to go bowling a lot. Cool Spanish people, whatever." So my uncle's like, "Yeah, man." He was a big Pacquiao fan. I was a Mayweather fan. So, we always talk trash, hypothetical, this, that. So now it's time to watch the fight and see who wins. And I think we got a bet on it. So my uncle was like, "Nah, invite them over. They come through." My uncle's ordering a fight. Like, "All right, let's go to my uncle's. He watching it because we're trying to find out where we're gonna watch it at." So man, we get to my uncle's house. Everybody sit down. Then my uncle comes up with the black tax, the Pan-African hustle. All right, look, I had to order this fight, so I'm just gonna charge everybody. I was so embarrassed. Like I just paid their share. Like, yeah, man, why didn't you just say that from the door, man? Yeah, dig. So everybody's looking uncomfortable. Like, what the hell you doing? So that's the Pan-African hustle. So you got this guy, Reverend R, double R, Reverend R, and you got the next guy coming up. Instead of just charging you from the door because they know you're not going to pay, it's not like this guy, Reverend R, is saying information that you demanded. He's giving you something you don't really care for. And he's trying to decorate it as though you need this information. The next guy's same way. And that's why they won't charge at the door. They wait till you get inside the party. And then while you're having a good time, bopping your head, getting adjusted, comfortable, they'll come and say, hey, man, it's going to be $25. It's a Pan-African scam. So that's what he's doing. He's charging now that you already, some people, like, they had a total of like 2 people watching it live. It's a total of 35 views altogether in 3 years. But at that time, maybe 1 or 2 people watching it live. So he's going to charge them midway, and he even charged the host. This was hilarious. The host had and the co-host ended up sending him cash apps. It was so embarrassing. But he's one of those guys. He's one of those guys that's going to scam you to come to a free event. It's advertised as free. You get there, you get situated, get comfortable, you start networking, whatever, and then he come with the bill. Hey man, it's gonna be $50. It's embarrassing.
I'm gonna put
Family, all of this, you want to be in just about a lead. Uh,
right.
Is this where to scoot it over some kind of way, Gemini?
if you gotta ask, do they have a job? That's probably enough circumstantial evidence. That's all you need. Okay.
I'm gonna if you could put it in a link, fine. Cash out Reginald Mabry. So what
Say that
happened?
again.
Huh?
Sakina, what'd you say?
I said, is it a way to scoot it over, or I'm just drop it in the link because this all over his
Just tell him there's nobody watching. Okay. Just say, hey, there's no chat.
face.
Oh, yeah, it is. Hold on.
Okay.
Keep talking. I'll fix it. Go ahead.
So where is where is the private chat? So here's my private chat. You can put it in the private chat, and you can put it in the
My fault. This ain't happened in a long time. My computer is freezing. Just give it 1 second. It ain't the video, it's the computer. I think I have too many tabs. All right, come on, come on, come on. It ain't freezing in a long time. All right, I gotta unshare and share again. It's ridiculous. All right, hold on 1 second. I hate to start all over. Yeah, it really froze. Wow. Usually when it freezes, all you do is unshare and and you share again. It's like really frozen. So it's crazy. Okay. You know what? Let me close out this right here. Okay. All right, so we're back. Peace, Muhammad. Peace, fresh always. FBA Convo, Chad Smith. FBA Doo-Wop Bands, The Truth Seeker FBA. Yeah, so like I said, this is the Pan-African Hustle. They invite you to a free event. And then while you're comfortable, chilling, eating, they'll slide a bill over there or slide a ticket sell over there that has a price on it. Like, yo, what's this? It's a raffle ticket? Nah, this is the admission ticket. Wait, but it's called free. Yeah, it's free to it's free to walk in a door, but it ain't free to sit down and listen to the lecture. So yeah, at this stage, like people know the super chat feature. They know the Cash App thing. You don't need to really bother too many people with that. They kind of already know. Family, all of this video got 35. He's talking about put his cat in his Berlin way. Nobody ever says
the black tax. Black people don't pay for information, and I'm trying to give them information. So, do you have my Cash App? Do you have my Cash App? I'm gonna put
so
it up.
entitled.
Yeah, thank you. Put the link. So let me
very
see.
slow, man.
It's easy to click the link on their phone, right?
Is this weird to scoot it over some kind of way, Gemini?
If you gotta ask, do they have a job? That's probably enough circumstantial evidence. That's all you need. Okay.
I'm gonna if you could put it in a link, fine. Cash App Reginald Mabry. So what
Say that
happened?
again.
Huh?
Sakina, what'd you say?
I said, is it a way to scoot it over, or I'm just drop it in the link because this all over his.
Just tell him there's nobody watching. Okay, just say, hey, there's no chat.
His face.
Oh yeah, it is. Hold on.
Sammy, it's literally 1 or 2 people live viewing the show.
Okay.
Keep talking. I'll fix it.
So where is the present? Where is the private chat? So here's my private chat. You can put it in a private chat, and you can put it in the YouTube chat. Put it in the YouTube chat. Listen, I'm working for you for $5 tips.
Oh my God.
Right? I'm working for you for $5 tips. So if you,
this is sad, yo. That is sad. This is the part where he'll disclose he's a waiter working for you for work for $5 tips. That's like these people, these grown ass adults that will have their hand out while you living your best life. You'll look at their hand like, what's up? They don't want change. They don't want 50 cent, 75 cent, dollar. They want $5 now. Never happened to y'all? You give one of these guys $1, they'll look at you like you disrespected them. They'll probably rip it up and throw it at you. This guy then told you what's the minimum. Is this not Umar-ish? Thanks for the $5, sister. Next time make it 400. Thanks for the $10, brother. Next time make it 1 million. Thanks for the $20, family. Next time make it 2,000. We're trying to build a school, sisters and brothers. This guy said minimum $5. $5 tips.
listen, I'm working for you for $5 tips, right? I'm working for you for $5 tips. So if you're watching this show, please buy me lunch. I would appreciate it.
He said lunch now. That's
right?
$20.
Maybe I might even get a dinner out of it, right?
I'm not. This is not. Damn, yo. I fact check his. So I'm gonna take it. He said it like it was a bad dude. I'll offer him 10. I think I found the email. That's how I got him on this motherfucker. You're never gonna watch. It's not done. I'm telling you, family, it could.
And if I'm wrong, and if you think that you gotta, if you're going,
I wonder which restaurant asking for donation. Like, hey, I'm providing a service.
My book, The Black City Plan, is free, but it's worth nothing because it's free.
His Black City Plan is free, but it's worth nothing because it's free. So why didn't you put a price on it, my guy? Why didn't you just sell it from the beginning? Why? That's the double talk we're talking about. That's the pan scam hustle we're talking about. Is it free or is it not free, man? Come on. Certain stores, straws are free. Certain stores, ice is free. Free is free, bro. They don't charge you on the back end. You just take it and go. Shit. I hate this fucking thing, man. You got to stop down there. Yeah, I'm so glad.
It's worth something, and and what it is right now, it is perspective. It is when something is free does not mean it's worthless. What happens is just because you can't see the outcome of the life it has changed does not mean it's worthless. It's one of those things where you just don't get to share in the moment of the life change of a person. And that's
Right. Just because you give great service when you hand people their meals and their drinks and they don't tip you, it doesn't mean you are not a great waiter. A great Right, because he disclosed that he's a waiter by profession. So that's why he's giving an analogy tips. He's saying at work he gets tips for his great service. So he's saying when he give a great lecture or a Pan-African scam, Pan-African city plan scam, he expect a tip. So that's why he's locked in the whole tip thing because he for trade he waits, tables and he gets tips. So he wants tips when he offers a different type of service, which is presentations. A great bus point.
End. Sometimes it's on the back end. So I really, want, when you say that.
Yo, who thinks that he wanted to hear that? He want his money on the front end. Who thinks he wanted that advice? Yeah, he about to debate her. Sis, you want to debate me? Back end versus front end?
Or getting your reward on the back end. Sometimes it's not on the front end. Sometimes it's on the back end. So I really, want, when you say that, I don't accept that way because things that people do that they don't get to share in the moments of how it changed a person's life does not mean it's worthless. Sometimes free things are the best. Again, you just don't like share in the moment and see how it has really changed a person.
Well, my chief, I understand what you're saying.
I told you, yo, he want to debate that. You done messed up. Don't you tell Brother Reggie he can't get paid on the front end. He ain't gonna take that and let it go. Now, keep in mind, family, this is all in the midst of his presentation. He like, sis, don't you take food out my mouth with this back end talk. We can debate right now. Brother Reggie ain't hearing
It's
that.
like anything else, what they say about black people. If it's something important, put it in the book, right? They won't read it. Right?
Oh my God. So now he's blaming people who don't want to buy the product. So family, can you imagine going into see they don't he is.
Or how many people have, you've inspired to sit here and create a better plan or an addition to that plan? You don't know, so you can't say. So it's not worthless. It's there.
Well, somehow, right now, for some reason or another, I don't know why maybe because it's saying the site is not secure on this browser. I can't pull it up, but
that's called pay your bills, my guy.
Later, and you can put it in the description on the next show, and you can read it.
Yeah,
my professor, Dr. John Henry Clark, wrote the organization Afro-American. Listen, I understand everything that you're saying. I'm not trying to make money off of a
plane. Yeah. She's trying to tell him, hey, brother, just keep teaching. Just keep giving your presentation. Don't worry about the cash apps. You know what I mean? She basically, if your presentation is worth anything, somebody would send you some money on the back end. She's just saying, like, it might not be live, but who knows? 5 days later, you might get a cash app for somebody who watched the video 5 days later. But complaining the way you're complaining, people might not want to send you anything. Okay. And what he did was what we call, he said, he is scam drunk. All right. Some new terminology. So he's scam drunk. So when she said that, he just started talking about his leaders. I study at the feet of Dr. Ben out of nowhere. That's called scam drunk. When you mention your elders for no reason. Let's get that back.
I can't.
That plan. You don't know, so you can't say. So it's not worthless. It's there.
Well, somehow, right now, for some reason or another, I don't know why maybe because it's saying the site is not secure on this browser. I can't pull it up, but
that's called pay your bills, my guy.
Later, and you can put it in the description on the next show, and you can read it. My professors, Dr. John Henry Clark, wrote the organization Afro-American. Listen, I understand everything that you're saying.
What?
I'm not trying to make money off of a
What was
plan for
that?
black people. I need black
Yes, you
people
are.
to follow it, so that's why I made it for free, right? Listen, if I get $20 worth of Cash App, look,
Yeah, he ignored and what we crying off, man. Think you on that substance. Paid it back. I'm Chipotle. You
worth of Cash App. Look, that's equivalent of me selling something. So what I'm doing is I'm selling my talk tonight. Is that fine?
Yeah.
I'm selling my talk tonight, right? My book is much more.
yeah, but if nobody want to buy it, then you don't get. And the sister's like, we didn't know that was happening here. We thought you were giving a free presentation, and you was gonna move on. We didn't know you were. We didn't know you were selling your talk. We didn't know when you came by tonight you were supposed to sell your talk to our audience. We didn't get that memo. That's that scam drunkenness. Get $20.
So my talk tonight is as valuable as somebody bought the book or read the book.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing about it is that
Yeah, look at the sister face. Yeah, she like, yeah, that's why nobody gonna send you any money. Yeah, she's they believe their music price when you're talking
are not really buying books. They're really not buying books. They're buying things related to books, what they call merch and stuff like that. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Well, can I ask a question right quick?
Oh,
Let me ask,
please, sister, and he's gonna.
let me ask you a question.
Well, let me ask you a question. What's the last book you bought?
The last book I bought was called
Where is it?
The Pyramid, the Sphinx, Tombs, and Temple of Giza.
You bought it last week?
No, I bought it 2 weeks ago.
You bought it 2 weeks ago. So you buy food more than you buy books. You buy clothing, right? You gotta wash your clothes.
Right, books can't feed you. You and I and these beautiful women.
Move it over.
Because the Cash Apps and everything are a
Yeah,
part
the
of.
Black City Plan is. The
Go
Black City
ahead.
Plan is the Black City Plan is based on the White City Plan. That's how white folks became successful, right?
All right.
And the Black City Plan that white folks used, which was the White City Plan, was
white folks ain't had no White City Plan. White folks had the federal government and its subsidies. White folks, we already read this. White folks were given 1933 HOLC, early 1900s zoning laws, racial zoning laws. White folks practiced when that was ruled unconstitutional in 1917. They picked up restrictive covenants. Okay. After that, the FHA of 1934, and then a New Deal of 1935. Okay, so then they had the ADC, AFDC. So white folks had nothing but different type of welfare programs. They never had a white city plan. Okay, and when they had a white city plan, that was during the late 1970s, along with, black people. And then, this was something sponsored by Richard Nixon, the Richard Nixon administration. And then the one city that was given to black folks that was undermined, sabotaged, and it flopped. But the other 11 cities are successful still successful today. So no, they don't have a white city plan, my guy. It's the federal government and local governments coming together and offering them things for no reason. Nothing they worked for, nothing owed to them. They didn't ask for it. They didn't ask for it. Just freely given to them. Why? It's been denied us. Like we've been denied these programs, why they've been freely given to white people. So there's no white city plan. And the Pan-African city plan is just based off garbage.
Stolen, was stolen by the Greeks from
family. They had to get this dude back on track. He was going to debate as Lord. Somebody said Pan-Frizide rurally. Yeah. I mean, the begging is just OD right now. It's embarrassing. He was going to debate as much as he.
root word of city is CI. That same word is in civilization.
Yeah, my man said if this is not plebiscite babble, he said the root word of city is CI. The root word of civilization is CI. But brother Reggie, also the root word of circle. Yeah, I don't know if it's CI, but I know CI is in there. And also CIA. You got CI there, you CIA agent. What is your point?
That same word is in civilized. That same word is
I'm back on track. They say, all right, listen, man, forget all this, man. Come on, man.
which I read from that the book on Jacobs, is that cities is the basics of government. Cities. So I would say that understanding, if you understand the city, you understand the government within the city, to understand the power of it, you understand debt, you understand transportation, you understand municipalities, and you understand some other things that I'm going to describe. But you
family, he's gonna bring back the Cash App talk, don't you think? Yeah, so he started talking about the city plan, and then he went back to Cash App once he realized his Cash App thing wasn't dinging. The women think they were. Listen,
Is why donating to the plan or donating to the channel explains the research and the X, Y, and Z and X, right?
Well, it's giving you some knowledge. It's telling you how the world works, right? It's not scamming you. It's not finessing you. It's telling the people who are smart. We have the largest amount of unemployed graduates working Uber and subpar jobs, right? I'm telling these black graduates, take over your cities, right?
Okay.
Take over your cities. Control the thing that controls your family, your mother. Take over that. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying stop being unemployed, right? Go and control and become powerful. Control the jails. Your brother's in jail. How can I say he's in court? It's as simple as that.
you just babbling. So, finance, okay? Strategy, but
You want your Netflix, right? And you'll be like, yeah, everything is good. I got my car. I got my fine woman, right? I could go to movies. I could go eat my seafood. I could buy my gear. I could buy my cologne. You stupid Negroes.
But don't beat them up. Okay.
there's a reason why these guys hang around with Reggie. I don't know. They saying Reggie is the bottom guy. So that's just a rumor out there.
Reggie? No.
Family, they are laughing at. Looks like in our community is Charles Master. We got Zoe. Hold on, wait. Okay, so if you think that was pathetic, get a load of this. Okay, so now this Egyptian brother had made a whole video called the their titles they try to be so distinctive and unique and creative is garbage. The Black Church to School to Prison Pipeline Part 4. This is Part 4. Look how long this video is. This is almost 8 hours. Hey, Part 3 is 10 hours. Part 2 is 8 hours, and Part 1 is like 20 hours. Like the dude and gave a. How can this topic be damn near 50 hours of content? Like, first of all, he made it up. There's no such event called the Black Church to School to Prison Pipeline. It's just the School to Prison Pipeline. Like, he added the Black Church in because he's so anti-religious, he's atheist. Okay, we get it. But he made the argument that the Black Church is worse than white supremacy and all these other different things. It's ridiculous. But check these out. Check out the begging. Just hear the begging. He's gonna sound like Brother Reggie. Shit. Oh my God. Yeah. That's the rumor.
Only factor creating all of that. You better look at it You cannot pay for this kind of knowledge. But I hope you have enough respect to go see my Cash App, which is pinned to the top of the YouTube chat, and it's in the description of this video.
Let's back up. He said you can't pay for this knowledge, and then he wants you to pay for the knowledge. One more time.
I pay for this kind of knowledge. You better look at it. You cannot pay for this kind of knowledge.
You can't pay for this kind of knowledge. It's the scam drunkenness I'm talking about. The scam alcoholism.
But I hope you have enough respect to go see my Cash App, which is pinned to the top of the YouTube chat, and it's in the description of this video.
So you can't pay for the knowledge, but you got to pay for the knowledge. Okay, these guys are scamaholics. They just can't stop double talking.
You're watching it while I'm doing it live, or even if you watch it when this is over. If you're watching this a week or a month from now, go see my Cash App because you're getting the knowledge. Don't steal from me.
Now, that's ironic because he has a title called The Black Church to School to Prison Pipeline. He's against the black church. He hates the black church. He hates religion. But he just said, pay for my message. Pay for my sermon. Don't steal from me. He literally got that out the playbook of the church. Will a man rob from God? He just said, don't steal from him because he's God, right? He's an atheist. But he'll get on the church for pastors saying, hey, put something in that plate. Will a man rob from God? So he's using the same jargon that the church will use to solicit money from their listeners, to their audience, their members. This is wild.
That's what it is. If you come here and you get this kind of knowledge and you ain't going to see my Cash App, as far as I'm concerned, you stealing from me. That's it. I said it. You don't like it? Keep it a buck. It's breaking down the axes for you.
Okay, so there you go, family. That's what they do. That's what they do. They try to guilt trip you into sending them money from for information they say can't be put a price on. It's free, but you got to pay for it somehow. Nobody of his audience, he got 20,000 subscribers. Not one subscriber asked for this lecture, this presentation, this breakdown. Not one person. They're not interested. They're into Egypt stuff. He brought this to them. And then said you got to pay for it. It's like those salesmen that knock on your doors and be like, hey, I got this vacuum, man. It could vacuum up paint. It could vacuum up tiles. You dig? Bro, I didn't ask for that, man. Like, leave me alone. So this is a typical pan scam hustle. They are scam drunk. They're scamaholics. All right? Okay. So I want to bring your attention to this right here. Now, we know what year Jesse Jackson urged white liberal media, Jewish media, Democrats to start using African American in place of black. Okay. That was 1989. I showed you guys a roundtable discussion of some black intellectuals who was like, hell no, we ain't moving to African American. We're not in Africa, nothing. We're staying with a black. And Kwame Ture, coon ass, who tethers and Pan-Africans prop up to say, hey, he was black power. Yeah, but he didn't end in black power. He ended in African American switcheroo. So all that means nothing now. You know, he was arguing for African American while black intellectuals were cooking them. Like, yo, what you talking about black? Like, what happened to you, man? You were Mr. Black Empowerment, and now you African American? Like, yo, who? And I mean, who sent you, basically? So, as you can see, the dates on this. So, not only were thorough intellectual black Americans in the political realm arguing to keep black and don't replace it with African American, in spite of people like Jesse Jackson and people like Kwame Ture. Now, you're going to see a whole debate, as we said earlier, as Tariq pointed out, I pointed out, SL pointed out, The Nation of Islam ain't want nothing to do with Africa. Them, the Hebrew Israelites, look at them now. Like they don't want nothing. So this was common for us to reject being called a generic African. So there was a debate on should we be called African American or Black. This is the same year that Jesse Jackson is forcing African American on Black Americans with the help of liberal Jewish media. Family, this movement got no pushback. Like, you know how right now we're saying we're foundational Black American, we're ADOS, we're descendants of freedom. We're getting pushback from the left, tethers, foreigners, and Pan-Africans. We're getting pushback left and right. When you guys can Google right now your AI, how much pushback did Jesse Jackson get when he was introducing African American to replace Black? Almost none. Like, he just freely got it. Okay, but the grassroots, we were arguing, hell no, man. What's up, man? We ain't African, we Black. So listen to this small debate. I played this like last year. Some of you guys never seen this, but I want you to get the Nation of Islam perspective on Black or African American.
In action.
Only 9 minutes. So as you can see, it says, look at the date. It says 2:38, Channel 2, October 10th, 1989, Lincoln Memorial. So we got dates here. This is during the time Jesse Jackson is introducing African American. He's getting pushed back by Black Americans, not foreigners, not politicians. We, the grassroots, were stepping up saying, yo, hell no. We're Black. We're not African American.
Coming up next, a forum titled The New Black Voice of the 90s. 3 panelists debate the topic, staying Black or becoming African American.
So you know I'm not lying. That's the title, okay? C-SPAN 2, staying Black or becoming African American. So we were pushing back. This is being forced on us.
Presenting the pro-Black point of view will be Ali Muhammad, a spokesperson for the Nation of Islam.
It is with a great deal of pleasure that I give you Dr. Abdul Alim Muhammad of the Nation of Islam.
I'm so glad that we are having this opportunity to discuss the issue that has been put on the agenda of whether or not it's time to change from being Black into something that is being called African American. I am very happy to see that we have now grown in maturity as a people, that we are actually able to have such a discussion where in fact everyone does not agree with everyone else's view, but we have become such good brothers and sisters of one another that we are able to disagree and yet not become disagreeable. See, to equate African American with terms like Italian American, Polish American, Russian American is to destroy the reality of how we got in this country. We did not get into America with our nationalities intact. Africa is not a nationality. If you are from Nigeria and you have become a naturalized American citizen and you want to call yourself a Nigerian American, well, you help yourself. But that's not how we got here. We did not pass through Ellis Island. We did not take the course that qualifies you to take a test for citizenship. That's not how we got here. To equate the immigrant that you might have in the Greek American or the Russian American with the so-called African American is a gross distortion of history. We're not no damn immigrants to this country. We were brought here against our will. We didn't come because we had booked passage on a passenger ship and we were so glad to be here and this was the land of opportunity and freedom and equality and justice for us and we were looking to jump into the melting pot. That's not our history. We are those that were kidnapped and we were brought in chains in the holds of slave ships and we were kicking and fighting every step of the way, and when we got here, we could not be held down except by the most brutal methods. And even today, when you look and see what is used to hold the black community in check, it is the most ruthless and violent and brutal of methods that are being used today to hold us in check. So we don't want to rewrite our history. Let me say something else that's going to make you mad. I'm just going to say it and get off of it because you might not be ready to think about it. But I'm going to put it in your subconscious mind. It's going to come up later. See, even you are guilty of those of you who are advocating this African, you're guilty yourself of trying to distort your own history. See, you want to pretend like you are the same people that was brought over here 400 years ago. And that nothing happened to you since you've been here. You the same black African now that you were then. That ain't true. I'm reminded of Richard Pryor. He went to Africa. He asked the brothers in Africa, he said, "What tribe do you think I'm from?" They said, "The Italians." You want to disguise your own history. You want to pretend that you did not have people who rose up on the plantations in rebellion to slavery, who fought and killed and died to be free, and some of them were only able to run off in the swamps with the Indians, and they set up their own independent kingdoms right here in North America, right down in South America, in the Caribbean islands. It was the black man in league with the red man. They set up armies to fight against the slave master, and in many cases they won, in other cases they were defeated, but they left a legacy of struggle to be free. And now you want to forget all about the red man. You want to forget all about him, like your blood and his blood are not intermixed so much that you have really become like one people. I bet if I asked you the question, there's not one of you sitting up here that does not have the blood of the red man flowing in your veins. And now you know I'm coming to something else too, that you don't hardly like to admit. You're just as bad as white folks who also don't like to deal with it. See, when you look at yourself in the mirror, brother, you know why you look like you look. You know that that slave master raped your grandmother. You know he went into the black woman and planted his wicked seed in the womb of the black woman, and that's why we're such a spotted up people today. And so when you just want to use this term African American, you're using it as a cover to hide yourself from what actually happened to you because you don't want to face the facts of your own reality. You're letting the slave master off easy because you're scared to call him a rapist. You're scared to call him a murderer. You're scared to lay on him everything that he did to us to destroy us as a people. But you yourself bear witness to it just in who and what you are. So don't deny yourself, man. What are you? Yeah, you are some of those people that they might call black Africans. That's part of your heritage. Ain't no doubt. You also got that red man's blood in you too. And according to what we've learned, they traced their family history. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said they came here 16,000 years ago from Asia. They're Oriental type people. And you got that slave master's blood in your veins too. So it means a whole lot of you walking around with European genes. I told you wouldn't like it. And I told you you ain't ready to deal with it. But it's the truth. And so it means that you need to look at what God has produced in you. If we're living in a time of universal trouble and universal confusion and universal revolution, then there is a need for a universal teaching and a universal vision. There's a need for a universal people to rise up out of the earth to become the universal rulers for all people. And there is no other people who qualifies on the face of the earth other than the black man and woman in America. There's you, that's your destiny, and the sooner you are willing to face up to your divine destiny and play your proper role in the evolution of world history, then the sooner we will enjoy a kingdom of peace and happiness and true brotherhood for all men, regardless to color, creed, class, or national origin.
As you heard it for yourself, this dude, 1989, he didn't know the terminology ethnogenesis, but he explained that. He said, you became a different people when your blood started to mix with the Native Americans, white people, so forth and so on. You dig? D. Fry said, damn, this is fire. This would never be on C-SPAN today's time. Not at all. But you could see we were resisting the term African American. We were fighting tooth and nail. We did not want to be called African American. We didn't call for it. We didn't accept it. Jesse Jackson didn't do what Yvette Carnell did in Tone Talks. Jesse Jackson didn't do what Tariq Nasheed did, which is respectable, which is thoroughly respectable. They brought the terminology to the grassroots directly. Say, hey, what y'all think about this term? They explained to the grassroots, not to the DNC, not to Jewish media, not to the Democrats. They explained to black people directly, hey, this term that you're being addressed today, this is no good. Okay, this is a better term, and I'm going to explain why. So they gave us the option to say yay or nay. Okay, that didn't happen with Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson brought his BS and he brought it to DNC, and in 1 year that thing was on forums. You dig? And we had to fill it out for any type of assistance. Okay, any type of assistance you had to fill out. You were black / African American. All right. Now, again, am I now saying, hey, you need to hit the Cash App like these Pan-Africans? No, it's good information. Just make sure you don't forget it, document it, clip it, whatever. Okay.
Get down there so far as Berkeley, California, Richmond, California, Chicago, Illinois, Iowa, Maryland.
Anyway, so going forward, you know, you guys, some of you guys watch Microphone Check with Tariq Nasheed. Some of you heard some of Lord Jamar debates calling out Dr. Cologne. Crazy Legs going on Godfrey. Y'all heard that hip hop stuff. So I had one live where I dedicated to 8-hour live to this topic, the 4 elements of hip hop. Now, at the top, you see DJing, you see graffiti, you see breakdance, you see MCing, and you see a ethnic flag tied to each one. That's not my research. I asked a tether that. So what you're looking at the top, that's not mine. I asked a tether, who do you believe is responsible for DJing? He said Jamaicans. I said, what about graffiti and breakdancing? He said Puerto Ricans. And I said, what about MCing. He said Foundation of Black Americans. So, family, when I followed this debate, for me, it was easy to tackle this topic because I see that this is consistent with non-FBAs. The chart you're looking at where it says DJing, graffiti, breakdance, MCing, and an ethnic flag is tied to it. This is what you're pretty much going to hear from people who are non-FBA. All right. That's why I got it there. So you got to get ready for what they're going to say when you argue against people who doesn't believe all the FBA contributions in the four elements. So I said, okay, let's entertain your argument, revenue, Tethanu. Let's entertain what you're saying is correct. All right. And I'm going to pick it up from here. Listen to this.
Okay. So if you said during that party, they were DJing.
All right. So my audio, I was out and about trying to get some things. You know, it's a snowstorm happened out here, the northeast coast. So I was at Target getting some things, and the audio's kind of bad. His audio's clear, so just bear with it, family. It's bad, but you still can make out what I'm saying. So just bear with it the best you can, and we're going to tackle the image I made right here. And if Tethanu wants to call back in, well, you'll see, he's very disingenuous on another level. It's just sad. The dude has no integrity, man. Like, they want to win so badly that they'll just lose all credibility on the net. It's crazy.
Breakdancing, MCing, and spray painting all in one area, which really never happened before. These were elements usually separate from each other, but his party brought all these elements together. I could be like, oh, I could see where you're coming from.
What he did? His party did.
No,
that's what I'm saying. His party did.
No, so don't try to take my hypothetical. All right, hold on.
No. Why I kind of explain that?
Look. Wait, hold on. No, because you stole my hypothetical argument that you didn't bring. But hold on. But I want to go forward, right? Because I want to talk about this still. So now let's talk about the elements. So you believe who brought the element of DJing into hip hop?
Well, cool Herc.
So he was the first DJ.
I would, yeah, of hip hop, yeah, I would credit him.
All right, so he's the first DJ. Okay, so who? So basically, okay, hold on. Look, you gave an answer. I'm trying to like document your answer and move forward.
Right.
You want to add to that? So did Kool Herc, was he the first DJ or no?
Yes, he was the first DJ, and Coca Rock was the first MC.
Okay. So and Coca, you said Coca Rock was the first MC, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So who was the first person to do graffiti?
I don't know.
First people, the ethnicity. Okay.
I don't know. I'm guessing it's Puerto Ricans. I credit that to Puerto Ricans.
All right. So MC Herc is Jamaican. You said graffiti Puerto Ricans and Coca Rock. What's his ethnicity according to you? Wait, your card. Wait, your card. Go ahead.
Coca Rock, I think, is from North Carolina or somewhere, and then he moved to New York.
Okay. Is he FBA or is he? I'm asking. Is he FBA? I'm asking you with your research. Is he FBA? Is he like island, African, Puerto Rican? What is he?
Yeah. I'm gonna respect your, what you want to identify. Yeah, he's that 3-letter whatever, the acronym.
I'm saying you could give me what you don't gotta submit to my acronym.
He's African American. He's African American.
The bottom line, I'm just asking: is he native to this country? Did he come from U.S. chattel slavery, or did he come from another country?
He's African. Okay. He's African American.
Okay. So now breakdance. So who brought that? Who brought that element?
I would credit that to the Puerto Ricans from what I've seen.
Okay, cool. So Puerto Ricans brought graffiti. Puerto Ricans brought the element graffiti. Puerto Ricans brought the element of breakdancing. Jamaicans brought the element of DJing. And who I would call Foundation Black Americans, we brought the element of MCing, right?
MCing and MCing.
Okay, let's go with that. Let's go with that. Let's just go with that because I'm gonna show you something about this argument. Okay, like I'm not even gonna push back and argue. No, this that. I'm gonna go with your research. Okay.
Now, Ron, hold on. We didn't have private conversations about this. We didn't have private conversations about this. Huh?
Who?
We're talking private.
Me and you. We don't have private conversations about this.
No.
You told me your stance.
Hey, wait, hold on, bro. I'm asking you by your research, right? I gave you no pushback. I'm saying by your research and what you.
Hello?
Ron, you muted.
Click and collect line 1. Click and
Which
collect
is
line
known as
1.
rapping today. Right. So I give you no pushback yet. All right. And all those elements make up hip hop, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In 2026, which one of those elements solely represent hip hop today?
DJing.
DJing? Okay.
Yeah,
Hold on. So now, are you telling me wait. You're telling me
Ron.
DJing.
Hey, Ron, do you mind if I just say?
No,
I just want to say peace to
relax.
Kwame, bro.
No, okay. Okay,
Kwame,
cool.
it's good to see you, buddy.
You can't
Peace,
wait on.
bro.
You talking too much. All right, goddamn, man.
No, I'm gonna leave. Don't kick me off. I'm gonna leave. Peace.
Okay. I'm just saying, be quiet. Let me ask you some questions.
Now, American Dream don't go nowhere.
All right. So now, you're
American
telling me
Dream dropped
DJing
off?
right now. I don't know where he went. So you're telling me DJing right now is more popular or represent hip hop more globally than rapping?
I never once said that.
Okay, so I said, which one of those elements solely represent hip hop right now? When you think of hip hop, which one of the elements reign supreme?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with DJing.
Okay, so give me the most famous DJ right now. Your most famous DJ.
DJ Khaled.
So DJ Khaled is more famous than Jay-Z?
Yeah.
More famous than Nas? Okay, all right. Club
Yeah.
All right, you gotta go. All right, okay. See ya.
You asked me my opinion.
Like, all right. I mean, but you gotta stand on truth though. Like, you gotta stand on some type of integrity.
Well, I can substantiate that.
Okay, so no. Wait, hold on. Listen, I don't want to make it too confusing. All right. So we know this guy's full of shit. So DJ Khaled, now listen, I want people to understand who you are because you give a facade on Tariq Nasheed show like you're intellectual, you stand on something. So today, in front of all y'all faces, he said, "Okay, now watch this." So DJ Khaled is more popular than Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Kanye West.
Yeah.
DJ Khaled.
Yeah.
Okay. Does he make more money? Okay, watch this. Does he make more money in the hip hop? Does he sell more than those rappers I just named in hip hop?
Probably not.
Okay.
You asked me who's more famous, then I gave you an answer.
Okay. Cool. Gotcha. So now DJing, so DJing is more. It reaches more people in the world than rapping, than rap music, rapping.
You asked me a specific question. I gave you a specific answer, now you don't like the specific answer.
No. I moved on. You give your answer, bro. You're trying to make it something that is not. I'm not doing that. I'm moving on to the next question.
All right, ask your question.
Is DJing more popular today than rapping?
Some could argue that. Yeah.
Okay.
Some
what
could
do
argue
you
that.
argue? What do you argue?
I think DJ is a little bit more popular than rapping.
All right. So all right, man. I don't want to kick you off. You're not gonna be able to get back on later. So just go ahead, exit. Let me get to Dream. Yeah, so just click back in a little later. I don't want to kick you off because then you can't come back on just, the way Zoom works. It won't let you back on through this link. So just go ahead and drop off.
Kwame, good to see you back, bro.
Well, he's been back. It's like a second, third call.
Really?
Matter of
This is
fact,
my first time hearing him back.
Bro, when you called in last time, no, he ain't calling that time. All right. So, Dream, do you listen to rap at all, hip hop?
I listened to it more back in the day than nowadays. When I do listen, I listen to more.
So when you say back in the day, what rap music were you into? Like what rappers?
Rappers I was into. I always thought Common was one of my favorites.
Okay,
Common.
cool. Do you know what DJ at that time? At that time, do you know what DJ at that time more popular than Common or Nas at that time?
A DJ?
Yeah.
No.
Do you know a DJ today?
A DJ today, man. The first name that popped in my head is DJ Premier, but he ain't a DJ today.
Right. Okay, so what I try to have, again, now you see, I let him give his answers. I didn't challenge none of them. I said, okay, bro, give your answers, and we'll move on with your answers, right? Because when you take a test, you take a test, they ain't gonna argue your answers, your selection. They're gonna put it through the result thing and see what happens, see if they're correct or not. Like, or they might ask you about your answers. Hey, why'd you say this? It might be open-ended, questions. So what I try to do is have an open-ended, honest conversation with you guys. I don't care if you don't agree. It just let's have some integrity when we talk to each other. Okay, so the dude said DJ Khaled is more popular. He said somebody can argue that he's more popular than Kanye West, Kendrick Lamar. I mean, but we can even throw whoever in there. Drake, you can throw Drake in it because these are rappers, right? So he sat in all of our faces and said DJ Khaled is more popular. And I said, okay, who capitalized more? Hip hop. Oh, DJ Khaled. So we know he's just being disingenuous, and so that's tapping out. Like that's doing all the 4 T's at once. All right. So just to close out this conversation, family, I don't even argue with them or about who was the first to do what. As long as they can at least fix their mouth to accept that foundational Black Americans, for sure, without controversy, brought in hip hop and rap, then we go with that one. I go with that one. Because all the other three phased out. They're nothing burgers. They're nothing in hip hop today. When you think of hip hop, you solely think of rap. You don't think of DJ. That's why Dream couldn't even name one barely, and Revenue only could name one barely. When you think of hip hop has become synonymous with rap. Rap has become synonymous with hip hop. Not DJing, not breakdancing, not graffiti. Those other elements are seen foreign right now. Today, 2026, those elements are seen foreign to hip hop.
Yeah, I think I would. I would.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. I think I would have to agree with you. I think those other elements are like background dancers to the rappers.
Yeah, they phased out because at one point DJing was more popping than the rapper. Like it was all about the DJ, right? It was a DJ. But and then you had like the breakdance that was popping. But bottom line is that it phased out. It didn't stand the test of time. So that's why I don't really care to argue
with that as well.
So I don't care to argue who did what first and this and that. Go that petty lane. My thing is if what Revenue said was true, everybody had a hand in our hip hop. Okay, cool. But hip hop right now is solely held up by rap. And Revenue said FBA's brought in rap. So I mean, so from there, I don't even understand the argument going further. It's like, dude, what are we talking about?
Yeah, I would also say that everybody had a hand in hip hop, but I would also say Black Americans had 2 hands in it. And probably a couple of feet.
Yeah, I mean, hip hop is solely surviving off rap today. Not DJ. If rappers stop rapping right now, hip hop is done altogether. It's dead. If rappers stop rapping, it's dead. If we go to country, jazz, like he just said we should do, if we go to that, hip hop is dead. So that's why I don't even get into the first
I think that's also, if you don't mind, I think that's also evident in battle rap. I think for the most part, it's Black Americans that really, are at the forefront of battle rap. I think when you see like Hispanics and Caribbean people, it's like you'll see 1 or 2 of them sprinkled in here and there. But I think for the most part, as far as I know, for the most part, they're mainly most of the battle rappers are Black Americans, as far as I know, or that's just what I think and that's what I imagine as well.
Of course. I mean, the battle rap is done mainly and I mean, you got some UK stuff going on in different areas, but like most of the spaces are in America, and we are more numerous in America. Yeah, so it's just common sense that, and we definitely rap. Like the average Black American, if you meet them, they for sure rap. Like I rap. Y'all never heard me rap one day in your life, but I rap. I know how to rap. You dig? And not just me, my brother know how to rap. And then the other guy know how, my other friends, we all rap. But if you get by, now I got Guyanese friends, none of them rap. Not one of them rap. So it's like, yeah, so we're like, this is something we really, the rapping part is something we really, really embraced. Like DJ Vlad is a real DJ. Well, he was. He was never a real rapper.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even bring in, you know what I mean? I wouldn't even bring in, I think you mentioned the fact that there's battle rap in England and stuff like that. But I don't think there's a question that hip hop started in America, which is why when I was talking about battle rap, I was just mainly talking about in America. The stuff going on overseas is just really, I think, copies of what started here. So, again, I think battle rap in America is a good kind of reflection of hip hop in general.
Yeah, I was trying to move the conversation forward, because I understand where everybody gets stuck at, like where they argue. That's why I said when I sat back and gave a whole 8-hour live dedicated to hip hop and the arguments about it, I sat back and listened to different people, and I'm like, okay, I see where they're stuck at. But I'm like, they look at the overall picture, like they're arguing at a certain time frame. But if you look at the collective, like if everybody brought in something, everybody want to double down on what they thought they brought in. If the Spanish folks are saying they brought in breakdancing or graffiti or both, if Jamaicans are leaning towards DJing and they're not moving off that, and Black Americans are definitely standing on those things as well. But for certainly MCing, for me, what matters is which one stayed consistent and blossomed. And they got the whole world ain't trying to be a DJ. The whole world ain't trying to goddamn be a graffiti artist or tag artist. The whole world ain't trying to break dance. But everywhere you look at, somebody's rapping. Like you got Japanese people out there, they break dance and they rap. But like rapping seems to be the constant, like that survives. You got people rap. You got, like, you can see TikTok shit, people rapping, like old people trying to rap. So that rapping element like blossomed and it just took off. And in 2026, we see, when we think of hip hop, we don't think of 4 elements. We don't think of 5 elements. We think of 1 element. We think of rap. As a matter of fact, when you even hear how hip hop has been introduced today on TV and television, they say hip hop rap or rap hip hop. They don't say hip hop breakdown. They say rap hip hop rap. They use them interchangeably.
My take on it, Ron, is like, I think hip hop has gotten to be very negative, and and my take on it is that y'all can have it. Like, as a Jamaican, like, I'm like, listen, Jamaica has enough negativity to claim on its own. Like, we don't need to claim hip hop, because hip hop is very negative, and I'm like, y'all can have it.
That's a whole way. No. Okay, see, now you're going to, we believe, we know it's degenerate because you guys got into it. When you look at the drill rappers today, the 5-Year Foreigns, the Bobby Smurders, all those guys are Caribbean, right? You look at the major drill rappers saying they killed the most people, they drilling every day, especially New York, Chef G. Okay, so we like, no, you guys, the reason why Nas said hip hop is dead because you guys took over it. Check this out.
But that doesn't mean we created it, right? That doesn't mean we created it.
No.
Right?
Not created.
So that's all I'm saying. Everything you're saying is true. I'm not denying what you're saying. All I'm saying is y'all can have it. Y'all created it.
But dude, you're shutting me up though, my guy.
All right, so I'm gonna fast forward it to around here. Now we get to the Biggie Small thing. All right, because at some point I said, all right, and then we're gonna go backwards on the whole rap discussion. I'm gonna cook revenue again. So just 1 second.
Pop fan. I was never a Biggie fan. Okay, let's make that clear for the record. I was Tupac all day. I was Eazy-E Tupac.
and we hear about all the with Puff. Now certain things are not age. You know, it was bad back then, but it's really not aging well now. It's aging even worse. You know, I don't even want to repeat some of the lines, but they're bad.
Nah, repeat
Very
'em.
gay lines. Like, I don't care how good a woman looks. I would never give fellatio to her father because she's so beautiful.
Damn.
Yeah, that was from a Richard Pryor line, who also was a bisexual, who I didn't find that out till later.
So
that was
basically, right. So bisexual is going to say bisexual things. Richard Pryor said it. Biggie said it. Just keep going.
Apparently a Richard Pryor joke that he put into a rap. But so what? Like, I don't care if Richard Pryor said it first.
No. He put in a rap because he said what he said. You dig? Because in FBA culture, you don't say that. You don't volunteer yourself, and no action like that. No heterosexual man that's standing on 10 and say I'm pure heterosexual. You don't. That's not what you do.
Have to use that line, but you did.
Hey, Ron.
He said he'd
hold on. Let us play, man.
Those ugly escape babes. I said no. In my mind, I would have.
Oh, okay.
All the ugliest that line, but you did. So that was
So now let's say he had bad taste right there. He said something he shouldn't have said. Like, Biggie, all right, bro, stop. That's a pause moment. Don't do that again. All right. So now look what he does next. Now this is no particular sequence, but just look what else he did. I should say.
Apparently, a Richard Pryor joke that he put into a rap. But so what?
That's
like,
strike
I don't
one.
care if Richard Pryor said it first. You didn't have to use that line, but you did.
Right. Strike one.
He said he'd screw Paul before he those ugly escape babes.
Okay. Yeah, he's wilding. Let me respond to Mr. Parallel. So I could tell he's new to over here. New people tend to feel entitled to tell us what to do. He says, why even have this convo? I mean, is that rhetorical? That's a sincere question. He said, why even have this convo? Bro, why have any convo? Every convo has been had. Why have any convo? I mean, but again, a comment like Mr. Parallel, people say that because they really don't have the gift to articulate their talking point. They can't express themselves with chosen words where their expressions are being heard and received. Mr. Parallel, unlike you, I'm able to communicate my thoughts, okay, in a way where people rock with them. You dig? So I had a different angle on the hip hop debate. That's why I'm having that conversation. I felt my angle was a little different. It's a little one-sided. It's really unbeatable. I'm not going to focus so much on who were the true originators of the various elements. I'm going to focus on the element that matters the most. So whether FBA started graffiti, don't matter. It's obsolete. If FBA started breakdancing, doesn't matter. It's obsolete. If FBA started DJing first, doesn't matter because it's watered down. I'm saying it doesn't matter for the debate purposes because it's watered down. I'm saying the only element that really matters today, they all overwhelmingly, unanimously agreed that we popped it off, which is MCing. So that's why when I brought it back to Tether New, I said, bro, which one of those elements goes hand in hand with hip hop today? Which one of those elements have become synonymous with hip hop? Which one of those elements you can swap out for hip hop and people know exactly what you're talking about? They're not confused whether it's DJing, graffiti, or breakdancing. They know exactly what you mean. When you say hip hop, right now, if I ask a random FBA person, Jamaican person, Puerto Rican, or white person, hey, who's the best hip hopper? Okay, they're not gonna think of Crazy Legs. They're not gonna think of Cool Herc. They're gonna think of a rapper. Okay, so we have these conversations because they're smart. Smart people like to talk, and smart people like to listen to smart people talk, because it's called provoking your mind. All right. So understand, you're probably a student of Reverend Reggie. You dig? You guys are not used to communicating properly. You're used to just babbling, plebiscite babbling. I get it. But I'm different than you, my guy. That's why you're over here listening to me. I'm not listening to you. No, these conversations are good. That's why people are here right now listening. Okay, if it was a trash conversation, nobody would care. But I had an interesting angle. That's why I made this chart right here. I'm gonna finish Lord Jamar. I made this chart. Why I make this chart? Okay, again, this is using non-FBA's logic. Okay, so just not about tether new. Most non-FBAs are going to agree with the flags right there. They're going to believe Jamaicans are the father of DJing or started DJing. They're going to believe Puerto Ricans are behind graffiti and breakdancing, but they all going to agree that MCing is foundational Black Americans. So when I asked Tether New, who's more famous, DJs or rappers? And he lied and said DJ Khaled. I mean, come on, family. Come on. Come on. And then he won't leave it at, oh, that's just my opinion, bro. I mean, now, so on the right side, I got a collage of people. I got Biggie Smalls, Jamaican. I got Tupac, FBA, Jay-Z, FBA. I got Eminem, white American. And I got Big Pun, Puerto Rican. And I got Bad Bunny over there. Across from Tupac, the right of Tupac, and above Big Pun. So why I got these guys here? Because they're all internationally known, okay, through hip hop, right? But what version of what element of hip hop? Biggie Small, Jamaican guy, is not known for DJing. Eminem, white America, is not known for whatever, and Bad Bunny and Big Pun, they're not known internationally for breakdancing and spraying paint on walls, subways, and things like that. All these people had to cop out to MCing. So when you look at hip hop, you got to look at hip hop like a business, like a multi-membership LLC or something else. You might only get 10% stake of this business, depending upon what you contributed. Okay. Others might get 30%. Some people might get the lion's share, 65%. It all depends on sweat equity, money you put in there, and things like that. But if you just show up, you probably might not get a damn thing. Maybe 1%, maybe 0.0, who knows? Okay. But the bottom line is that rap is solely holding hip hop on its shoulders today. Without rap, there's no hip hop. Hip hop is dead. Okay, rap been holding up hip hop for like the last 40 years, going on 50 years. For the last 40 and 50 years, it's been rap solely been making hip hop relevant. This is why when people say hip hop artists, they don't think of nobody but rappers. Rap and hip hop has become synonymous. So, as a result of rapping, MCing, there was a show on MTV called Yo MTV Raps. And when they featured people who were hip hoppers, okay, mostly rappers were featured on Yo MTV Raps. Rarely ever any DJs, and then super rarely anybody doing breakdancing or graffiti. Then after that, you had BET, Black Entertainment. It's not AET, right? It's not African Entertainment. Is it called African Entertainment? I believe it's called Black Entertainment. Same thing. All of the hip hoppers on there, like 90 to 100% have been rappers. No breakdancers, no graffiti artists, nobody tagging nothing, no DJing competitions, all rapping. Now, in the middle, I got a couple record labels. Def Jam Recordings is known to hire rappers, sign rappers. Okay. Interscope is known to assign rappers, not people flipping on their back, doing acrobat stuff. They don't sign former what's they called? Former Demique Dolls type of people. Damn, I'm a lost for words. Like they don't sign former acrobats, right? Medalists. No, they sign rappers. Okay. Atlantic Records, rappers, Republic Records. These are the most popular record labels today, and some of them go beyond. And then you got the No Limit. You know, you got the Rockefeller and everything else beneath them. All known to sign rappers. So for Tether to sit here and lie and say a DJ is more popular than a rapper is out of, I mean, you just lying. Bad Bunny is not a DJ, right? Right. He gets a gazillion sales and he's going to be rapping in Spanish at the Super Bowl. Kendrick Lamar last year was rapping at their Super Bowl. And at some point was Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop, and 50 Cent there rapping. You'll never catch somebody spinning a record over and over at the damn Super Bowl with some backup dancers. Okay, that'd be the lowest rated Super Bowl ever. All right, so yeah, so that was a little chart that I made today that I put together today, just so you could see MCing, which is now called rap, is synonymous with hip hop. The other three are totally obsolete, basically. Obsolete. So when you name the hottest hip hoppers, the hip hop artists today, they're all gonna be rappers. There'll be no DJ Khaled in there. DJ Khaled, to be popular, to be famous, he went and got rappers, a bunch of rappers. It wasn't his rappers, it wasn't his artists. He went and got established artists to rap over his whatever he got going on in his studio. So it's very disingenuous to sit here and act like DJing is relevant today and even on the level of MCing / rap. I mean, it's just a terrible lie. Okay. So that's why we have these rap a lot's another one. Jay Prince, you know. So yeah, so we have these conversations because they're conversations to be had. They're fun to talk about. Now, am I gonna do a 7-hour show on this? No. But everybody didn't catch it live yesterday, and you heard my audio was terrible. So I like to, cover some things. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna cover more things. So I think it's important to even go over this next one. Yeah, Cash Money. You got smaller record labels, but the bigger ones, Def Jam, Interscope, because all those people, all the ones you're naming, these are artists who are signed to these four right here, and they have like a smaller. So the rapper is signed to these people, and then they go ahead and make a smaller record label under the umbrella or the parent record labels. So that's why I just named the parent record labels. I don't know where Cash Money Records are at today. Okay, I don't know where No Limit Records are today. Rockefeller Records are today, but I do know Atlantic Records are still alive. Republic, Interscope, and Def Jam. I don't know about the other ones. They came and gone. That's why I didn't mention them. Okay, so now let's change gears a little bit. So yeah, no, I'm working on my logo. This is my logo for. It's not complete, but it's getting better. This is the logo for the Black Anti-Defamation Defense. If you're part of the lineage, by default, you are a Black Anti-Defamation Defender. No different than Israel and Israelis, like they become the men, are just they gotta join the military. In the Nation of Islam, all men over 18 are FOI. Okay, Black Anti-Defamation Defense, everybody is a defender of the lineage. All of us is gonna wash out any defamation. Right, so we're all anti-defamation towards the lineage. So that's like a little logo I made for it. Be like a little flag later, I guess. But I think it's dope. And I'm as you see, I'm like working on it. Okay. So they rely silencing my accounts with the F half of what I type doesn't appear. Really? Okay, so somebody put a link. Iceman put a link in the chat. Let me see that. So let me see what that link is about. That DJ Phase?
We're going to do it for the culture. Grand rising, peace and greetings to the kings and the queens. What's good?
Yeah. So I've been following DJ Phase. I'm subscribed to his thing. I played one of his videos before. So he was part of the 7-hour hip hop live I dedicated to this right here. I was playing a lot of DJ Phase stuff. Okay. So now let's go to another guy who ain't the brightest guy. He ain't the brightest star in the galaxy. Here we go.
Reason a Nubian would call himself a Nubian is the same way that people in America will call themselves black because of colonialism.
Wait, stop.
Yeah, that's
now.
We don't
wait,
got
that's false.
It's
because in America, there's a track record where we called ourselves. There's a timeline. We called ourselves Negro. We called ourselves color all the way until the 1960s.
Ron.
And then we said black, and that had nothing to do with a colonizer.
I'm not there yet, Ron.
Okay.
No, I think you jumping on purpose, bro.
Nah, because we didn't call ourselves black.
I said
in this after a colonizer, we didn't do that.
I'm saying we did not call ourselves black.
No, we did in the 1960s. It's the Black Power movement. We did.
The 1960s. So the same reason the Nubian called himself that.
Wait, hold up. He just said we didn't call ourselves black. And then I said in the 1960s we did. Then he said, okay, we did. And then he's talking about the Nubians. Like, bro, what are you talking? Like, this is a guy like Revenue, Agent Unk. This is a guy, like, these guys be stuck in their script that's been passed down to them by whomever, that like they're trained not to listen to any feedback, any rebuttals, any criticism. He's just going to keep repeating the same stuff over and over and over. So I'm trying to slow him down. Like, bro, like, you don't want to know why your Nubian analogy to our Black Power movement analogy is false. You don't know what you just want to keep talking. You don't want to know why. So when I talk to these people and they disagree with me and they have an alternative view, I want to know why. I want to hear it because I think it's going to be dumb. And I think I could debunk it. So I want to hear it. Okay. But when it's on the other foot, they don't want to hear because he knows it's going to debunk his script.
That it's colonialism, bro.
No. That's different though. Okay.
The time you're talking time, right? There's
right, but
difference.
I'm talking
the reason. I'm not saying how we adopted it and turned it. It's like the word nigga.
No, right? No. Okay. Yeah. So he went from Nubian to nigga. I'm like, no. Wait. wait. Hold. Listen, let me establish this first, which I shared with Sheffrin. So you have something called an ethnonym. That's what you're labeled, right?
I don't want
historically.
I want to hear that, bro.
Okay. No. Now this guy said he doesn't want to hear that. Now this is the stupidity I'm talking about. I told you, he has a script to read. Okay. Anything outside the script, he doesn't want to hear. How you don't want to hear about an ethnonym? That is what Nubian is, bro. I'm giving you like, okay, so if you said you were Asian, he would say, hey, that's a race. That's a racial construct. Like he would go there. Well, I could say, I don't want to hear that. I want to keep it layman terms. Now, this is a self-purported scientific literate guy who don't want to hear proper terminology. So they pick and choose when they want to hear something that's proper because they have a script. They're not. I don't believe at all that this dude is well studied in anything. I know him for a little while. I was with him for a little while. I know how he gets information. People give it to him. People teach it to him. People go over and over and over with him until he gets it. It's a script. This is why he struggles in all of his debates. Why he struggles when he has any controversy or any adversity. He struggles. When people come over here and debate me on what I read, it's a slaughter fest. It's not close. With him, anyway, so he don't want to hear what an ethnonym is, but he's talking about ethnonyms, which is ridiculous. Because okay, listen, you do, because it's gonna level you up. You have something called a.
You could never level me up, Ron.
Okay, I got you. So what's an exonym?
Ron, you're not. This is what I'm not going to do. This is not some wild ass. You come out of nowhere, pop quiz shit.
No, this is important to what an exonym do. Are you at least
listen to what I'm trying to tell you, Ron?
You got. So in other words, don't give correct information. Just allow him to say his stupidness and move on. And this is what other folks were talking about. Like, yeah, family, sometimes there's no way to dumb a word down. The word is just the word. So exonym is just an exonym. Endonym is an endonym. And an ethnonym is an ethnonym. Like, there's no way to like make it sound simpler without ruining the actual terms of these words. Like, yeah, you have to classify these words like this. There's no way to dumb these words down. Because if you do, then it's all just going to appear like you're saying the same thing. So when you hear ethnonym applies to what you call yourself, regardless of how you called yourself, regardless to how you came to that name, whether it was an outsider calling you it or you chose it yourself. Ethnonym doesn't discriminate. They're both called an exonym. Now, how you got that name is exonym versus endonym. So when I'm trying to explain to this agent, as I do, that matters. That's my core argument. My core argument is centered on how you got your name. We chose black in 1960 and we defined it. You're talking about people who were given a name. They never chose it, and they adopted the definition with the name, which was derogatory by nature. It was to suggest that these people are inferior or subhuman or lacking what white people have. That matters. You can't take on a name voluntarily and it's calling you an inferior. It called you an inferior. That's why in 1804, Dessalines said, from this point on, we're the Haitians. They took on a name that they came up with and they had a definition for the name. And it doesn't describe Haitians as being inferior. When people separated from Ethiopia and called themselves Eritrean, they named themselves, they defined it, and it doesn't suggest that they're more inferior than Ethiopians or lacking anything. So when you define yourself, you're not going to come up with an inferior definition to describe yourself. But that's what exonyms normally do, especially when it's given to you from an outsider, and they normally are. Now you see how I broke that down real simply, real sweet, real smooth. Look at this. I know the exonym is. Do you want to make that claim?
Ron, I'm not going to let you drag me into terms we can all look up. What I will tell you.
Okay, right. You said nigga, right? You said nigga. Is that true? Did you say nigga?
I'm saying, Ron, you know I'm not the one for the trickology, bro.
No, it's not trickology. Well, you said we were called nigga, right? You said that.
No, I said they called us that. And I said,
right.
And we changed it.
I ain't thinking that.
I was trying
to
dove in with the super question pop quiz.
Wait. So before you do that, let me say this.
African American. So you can't.
Wait. No. Wait. Just slow down. Slow down.
Nigga from Sudanese. You can get.
Okay, just slow down. Because right now you're in and out anyway. Your audio's in and out. Okay. You just said that we were called nigga, right? Bahar ER. And you would admit that was from the white man, our enslavers, not a colonizer. Because we didn't have no colony, we had enslavers. So enslavers called us NIGGER. Is that correct?
Negro first. Negro, the word is
Okay. Right. Now, they called us Negro. Well, first of all, English speaking people is not going to choose the word Negro. They got that. Okay, so all I'm trying to point out, family, is that white folks borrowed Negro from another European. Another European was calling us Negro, probably their version of black, trying to describe our skin, right? And when we were being extracted from Africa, when we were being sold from Africa by Africans and extracted by Europeans from Africa, right? Some of those people spoke Spanish. So all I'm trying to explain to Unc is when the English speaking people were extracting us from the Spanish Europeans, right? The ones that spoke Spanish. The bottom line is that they were calling us Negro. English people, natural English speaking people that don't speak Spanish, they took that term with an English accent and said Negro. But they didn't care about what the word meant. They just care about, or these are the people we're buying from you. We're extracting from you. These are Negroes. Cool, they're Negroes. So when they brought us over here, they didn't have a definition. Oh, Negro means black. They had a definition like, hey, these are who they're being called. We just gonna go with it. I don't think that was a well thought out definition by the English. They just took, this is who they are. Cool. Give us the Negroes. All right. We'll give you this. Thank you. And they brought us over here. That's all I'm trying to explain. Like that wasn't well thought out by English speaking people. That from their terminology and not their definition. Okay, we were unaware because we don't speak English. The UK don't speak English. People don't speak Spanish. They speak. I'm saying that right now. So now we didn't. So the UK people didn't know that English meant black. They just they came up with their own definition what Negro meant. They didn't borrow that from the Portuguese, but right? They call whoever came up with that term in language. You don't know that. You don't care to know that. Gotta be divided. You cannot combine it to an interchangeable. You can't interchange them.
So what you doing?
So white folks.
Hold on. So what you doing is confusing the audience.
No, you're confused. Because I talk about this all the time. You're confused, my guy. The audience not confused.
You're confusing the audience because you get right back.
All right. And this is a guy who's never clear. Like he's been talking evolution for 1,000 years and people are still confused when he talk about it. He still can't find a way to communicate evolution to the public in a way where the public can easily understand it, whether they accept it or they don't. He has yet to find a way where the public can easily understand it. Okay. Because he doesn't understand it. So I'm under the belief if you truly understand something, then you could break it down where your core audience can receive it, even if they're not on that same education as you on that thing. You still could break it down easily to where they can receive it. Okay. He struggles. He's confused. He said, I don't want to know what an exonym is. Like my audience, for the most part, know what an exonym is. I talk about it all the time. Now, do every last person know? No, but some of you do. So he's confused. That's his first time hearing it. And all his cohorts, when they came over here, and now they're trying to say exonym, endonym, ethnonym, like they always knew what it meant. Like they were just as dumb as him when he was over here. Okay. But whatever. But you're welcome. To your little staff, the scientific literate people, they came over here and learned what an exonym was, ethnonym, and endonym. Those scientific literate people.
Back to my point. What was my point? My point was that we didn't name ourselves that. That was my point. You took us around just to say.
No, let me add to that. When you don't name yourself, that's called an exonym.
Hey, bro.
Go ahead, finish.
You put the technical names on it to say the same thing I was saying.
That's important though. Why not be accurate?
No, listen to what I'm saying, bro. No Africans on planet Earth call themselves black. Not nobody.
You're standing in. No, but Black Americans did though.
No, they did not.
Okay, so in the 1960s, we didn't say we're black and proud.
Okay, so we put it on the timeline. That's how we do that. You can't get me with the extraordinary. I'm gonna give you a technical term.
Wait, but you just said nobody did that, and I said we did. You didn't argue that. And you also said don't give nobody technical terms. You see, family, like these guys, their egos are always in the way because they proclaim to be so educated, they proclaim to be so scientific literate that when you come up with language that's English language that's unfamiliar to them, like ethnogenesis, okay, they get intimidated. And now they don't want to know what it is. They don't want to, and only on their terms, they start to research it and look it up and still mess it up. Okay. We don't have that ego over here. Man, if you come up with a term I never heard before, all right, cool. Explain what it is and cool.
So basically, you trying to play the trick game now.
No. I'm playing. They all say that, family. You say a word they don't know, you're playing tricks. Chief Karen made the same claim at me when I said the exonym thing. Yeah, ain't that weird? I said exonym to this guy, I'm playing tricks with words. I say exonym to Chief Karen, I'm playing tricks with words. Playing grammatical games. This is called grammar, my guy.
What's called
exonym is a grammatical term.
Trick the audience. You know why it's trick?
No.
Nope. You have to say that to that guy that you call the tether. You gotta tell him that.
But he hung up though, so I'm talking to you now because you're making the same mistake he was making.
No, I'm not. No. You know I'm not making the same mistake because no. See what I'm saying? I live in No, I know we didn't. We went from hold on, bro. We went from Negro.
Right. You're just went from Negro to what? Wait. You're breaking up. You went from Negro to what?
I said we transitioned from Negro to colored.
Okay, stop. So color. Who named us color?
Yo, listen to what I'm saying, bro.
No. I want you to establish who called us colored people.
You do that. You know what? Now I get it. You want to have the
see. So he can't answer no questions. He's intimidated, and he deflects. And all I'm trying to establish is, bro, you're just saying words. You don't know where they come from. You don't know who brought them in. You're just saying stuff, man. And when you're being called on it, you can't validate nothing, bro. You can't substantiate nothing, bro. You just prove, because I know this guy. I know he does not research. I know that other people research. They call him on the phone. They go over it. They teach it to him until he understands it. And then they hang up and then he'll act like he read a book. So I know he don't know this stuff. That's why I'm calling him on the fly. Hey, man, color. Who called us colored? That's a simple answer, you would think, right?
Difficult call.
No, I want to establish facts. I want you to agree with me or agree with the facts. Hey, Unc, who called us colored?
Nah.
So you don't want to answer who called us colored? See, this is called deception. This is called motives. Who called us colored?
Not pertinent to the conversation, bro.
Yes, it is. Yeah, he says, yeah, did he just say that? Did he just say that? He said the word color first. And I'm believing he just saying words he don't understand what they are. And I say that about him all the time. He get mad and I'm proving it. He says, hey, man, you called me dumb. Okay, well, now I'm having you provide the chance to prove you're not dumb, and you're proving you're dumb. You're deflecting, man. That's not hard to add. Hey, man, you said we were Negro and colored. So we established who called us Negro. Now I'm asking you, who called us colored? It's a simple answer. You just said we went from Negro to color, and I said Negro. White folks called us Negro. That's an exonym. Who called us colored? Was it white folks or ourselves? Which one?
You know what I don't understand, yo? You think you nice with this thing right here, yo? And
hey, bro, I'm just asking you a historical question. Who called us colored? White people, or we called ourselves colored?
Hey, Ron, guess what you doing? I was trying to establish.
He doesn't want to answer the question. So look, I'm gonna fast forward to what he really wanted to talk about. Is that it's important for Black people.
No, it's not.
You said you weren't. You weren't. I was shocked.
Your lies. Lie. You never know me be that, yo.
Why you think I questioned you on Garvey? I thought you was a Pan-Africanist.
You made that shit up, yo. Yo, you know I got.
So now this is fake outrage. Rod's son did the same thing, family. These guys, all their circles are Pan-African. They got Pan-African books. Every elder they got is Pan-African. Pan-African music, Pan-African art, Pan-African everything. And when you call them a Pan-African, they got this fake outrage. I'm not a Pan-African. All of everything they surround themselves with, Kwanzaa, everything. They even call us African Americans consistently like a Pan-African. But you call them a Pan-African, they get fake outrage. So right now, family, I'm going to skip past the fake outrage of me calling him a Pan-African.
Hundreds of videos, yo. And you basically right now because you information. No. Off message from doctors. Black motherfucking indigenous black motherfucker is pseudo the dots. Go ahead. I'm listening. Tell your audience.
Okay.
Why I'm fucking with Asar Hotep. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay, so you hear the cussing, the disrespect, family. This is why they just can't make it on the internet. Like, you gotta be able to tame yourself, man. They're wild as hell, cussing, N-word this, N-word that. It's embarrassing. But let's get to what they all end up coming down to. And guess what? Ain't about slave ships either. It's about your ethnogenesis. That shit reigns supreme over slave ships and over if you were here before slave ships. That don't even matter. What makes you FBA is your experience through U.S. chattel slavery. So abo or slave ships, you ain't. Okay, so all I'm explaining to the guy is that you got people who want to hang on to African because they were extracted from Africa, sold by Africans, and they end up in America. All right. And they came here as Africans. But they were going through an ethnogenesis the whole time. And now the ethnogenesis is completed. They're no longer African, but they want to hold on to African. Those people got an issue. They got an issue. Then you got people who were here before the slave ships, right? They call themselves Black Indians or Indigenous Americans, whatever they call themselves. So at this point, they're no different than the Africans that came over here. They're no different in that they were something, but U.S. chattel slavery made them something else. So if you were here before the slave ships, if you got here before the slave ships, when you gone through the ethnogenesis, you are no longer that abo person. You're no longer that Indian, that indigenous American, that indigenous person that's out, that's gone, it's over. And you're no longer African, that's gone. You have come together with those that were from the slave ship, and you both have went through an ethnogenesis. You both married, interbreeded. You both were called the same thing. You both were put through the same slave labor. Okay, you both faced Jim Crow and Black Reconstruction and HOLC deprivation and blah. This exclusion, HOLC exclusion, better word. Civil rights movement, KKK terrorizing, you dig? Or KKK terrorism. So neither one of you are no longer that thing. Both of you are now a proud Black American. Okay? You're a foundational Black American, you're ADOS, both of you. So when people hold on to their indigenousness and their Africanness, they're one and the same to me. They're both in denial of who they are today, which is FBA. If your relatives went through, your ancestors went through U.S. chattel slavery. If you came here on a slave ship as an African and your ancestors didn't go through U.S. chattel slavery, you're not FBA. If you were here before the slave ships and you avoided U.S. chattel slavery, you're not FBA. Real simple. Okay. Like, you have a lot of Native Americans right now who didn't go through U.S. chattel slavery, therefore, they're not FBA. We FBA, get the fuck out of here. So that's where I went with that. Okay. I'm basically saying, if you're not FBA, then stop fake claiming. Okay. You want to hold on to your Africanness, you're not FBA, you're an African. Real simple. Okay. So he goes to Tariq Nasheed website. Let's go there. So this is where I say that they don't have comprehension skills. Let's click this. Okay. This is the website. This is Tariq Nasheed's website. There's other websites, but this is his website where he defines who an FBA person is. Okay. Now, let's read it. Foundational Black Americans, FBA, are the proud descendants of the Black men and women who endured and survived one of the greatest atrocities in human history, American slavery. These resilient ancestors built the United States from the ground up, laying the foundation of the nation's economic, political, and cultural development. Okay, that's a period. He says, however, the rich history of FBA did not begin in 1619 with the arrival of enslaved Black people in Virginia. It began nearly a century earlier. Okay. Anyway, what an FBA person is, an FBA person is dealing with, according to the website that Tariq Nasheed provides, American slavery, ancestors who built the United States from ground up, laying the foundation for the nation's economic, political, and cultural development. Okay, that's it. If you are of that, you're FBA. Okay. Now, that's a definition, and I was trying to definitions are definitive. Okay. So now Tariq Nasheed has other information on his website. All right. And with the Pan-Africans like to go and cherry pick is Tariq Nasheed's flag. Okay. And with the 3 stars or whatever. This is where they want to go. They want to cherry pick. They think they found a weakness. So my position is whether you found a weakness or not, that flag is something Tariq Nasheed created, and he explains the symbolisms of the flag. Okay. So he is explaining the symbolisms of the flag. He's not explaining the definition of FBA. That's done right here. Okay, right here, we didn't read about 3 stars. We didn't read about red, white, nothing. Okay, this definition of FBA does not explain the flag. The flag is separate. That's all. This is common sense for anybody who has a 3rd grade comprehension. Okay, this stands by itself, and the flag stands by itself. You can't mix them up. The flag is the flag, and the definition of FBA is the definition. So real simple. American slavery, ancestors who built the foundation. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. Adolf says the same thing. U.S. Freeman says the same thing. And even AI Google says the same thing. The flag is a whole different something else Tariq Nasheed was explaining. So a Pan-African and a tether, they like to cherry pick and be disingenuous and try to connect the flag to the definition of FBA. No, they're totally different. So the definition right here we're looking at, that's highlighted, this speaks to anybody who have gone through this experience, anybody's ancestors who have gone through this experience. He is saying you're FBA, or at least the conversation starts with you possibly being FBA. Now, we told Agent Zero this on a private conversation once, twice, 3 times. He came over here. We talked about it. I came over his channel. We talked about it. We talked about it on Sonetta TV together. And he still came back this time. This audio I'm playing you, this is 2 weeks ago. He still came back 2 weeks ago and tried to pretend that the flag explanation is tied to the definition of FBA, and we don't see anything about a flag. I'm sharing my screen. We don't see a flag. Okay, family, that's just being deceptive. That's just being a liar. Okay, so whether you agree with the flag or not, it doesn't matter. The flag stands by itself, just like the definition of FBA stands by itself. That's all. That's all. That's all we pointing out. So I ain't gotta play that no more. That's all. Somebody sent me a link. What is this? Okay. So anyway, family, I had went back to some books because you had people talk about the AME church. Oh, the AME church. The AME church. Oh, it stands for African Methodist Episcopal Church. You see? So they were saying African way back then. Yeah, they were naming a church African, right? Some of those people believe that, well, it's true. Like, so some of us have African ancestry, so they were naming churches after their African ancestry. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. But were they calling themselves African? No. When black people at that time spoke to each other, family, all that matters is this: whether you called your church African, whether you called your organization African, that does not matter. What did you call yourselves when you spoke to each other? What did you call yourselves when you wrote about the lineage? They called us Negroes and colored, family. The language didn't change, no matter what they called their church. The language didn't change. They called themselves Negroes and colored. They didn't call themselves African. All right. So now, let me go back to this. So am I done there? Yeah. So anyway, they talk about the AME church, but which is, like I said, stands for African Methodist Episcopal. But family, how come they don't talk about the CME church that existed the same time the AME church existed? Let me put y'all on something I know y'all never heard before in your life. Okay, and you won't get it from a Pan-African because they like to suppress information that goes against Pan-Africanism. Look, CME church. CME church meaning. Let's click that. Let's see this word. Okay, so this is Crystal. This one I want right here. So we got the Christian Methodist Episcopal CME Church is a historically African American Protestant denomination established in 1870 in Jackson, Tennessee by 41 formerly enslaved people, originally named the Colored Methodist Episcopal Church, 1870. The same time the African Methodist Episcopal Church is going on. So family, some people was called, a small portion of people were holding on to African ancestry, but the bulk of us was still calling our schools, our churches, and institutions colored and Negro. Okay, so now, not done right there. I got one more for you. I got a bunch of stuff for you, but hold on. Because what they did was they forced Ron, FBA Ron, to get back into the books. So I said, all right, let me get back to these books. All right. So let me put you on this. So I put you on CME. So when they brag about AME, you just give them CME. the Colored Methodist Episcopal Church. All right. And I want to throw this one at you right here. Okay, 1870. And now, okay. So what about this? How can you learn about this? How come you don't learn about how could they want to teach you this? Mm-hmm. There we go. Okay. Cincinnati's colored school history in the 19th and early 20th centuries included segregated colored public schools and notably the Colored Industrial School of Cincinnati, also known as McCall School, established in 1914. So, family, what I'm pointing out is to everywhere they could name one African organization, one African church, one African school, I can give you about 1,000. I'm lying, but about 100 colored the same thing. So it's like 100 to 1. They like to cherry pick one African something, and there's like 100 colored versions of it. So I'm pointing out to you, family, we were calling ourselves color and Negro consistently. We might name something African, but we were not calling ourselves African. Okay. Frederick Douglass presided over the National Equal Rights League. And matter of fact, and I don't care what they called it, family, all of those organizations, schools, they were all to do the same thing. They were fighting for equal rights, voting rights, jobs. None of them were fighting for some Pan-African ideology or to go to Africa. So no matter what they called it, their agenda was the same. They were fighting for equality, citizenship, American citizenship, jobs, land ownership, things to make America comfortable for them. No Pan-African ideology. This predates Pan-Africanism, by the way, family. So what they do is these disgusting Pan-Africans and tethers, what they do is they look at the word African in the 1800s and then they lie and say, see, the word Africans there, they were Pan-Africanists. No, they had the word African there and they were Americanists. Okay, they wanted to know how to make themselves more comfortable in America. They were not thinking about Africa at all. They just had the name there to identify their ancestry, and that's as far as it went. They didn't call themselves Africa. They didn't want to go to Africa, and they were not trying to help out Africans. You did. They were trying to help themselves out in their lineage. Okay. So let me get back to this. Let's get back to Biggie. Let's get back to hip hop. So now that the Jamaican dude, Tether Dream said, oh, y'all can have hip hop because it's all degenerate now. You can have it. I'm like, ho. Hip hop, shit. We might have a great argument. Hip hop became degenerate as soon as y'all started moving to New York in large numbers. You know? And we started to move to Atlanta, Texas, and you look at everywhere we moved to, California, everywhere we moved to, those cities and states were popping. Music was Atlanta controls hip hop for the longest, not New York. New York music has been trash. And guess who those popular artists, ethnicities are? Caribbean, West Indian, Fabio Foreign, Rowdy Rebel, Tekashi 6ix9ine was one of those rappers, Bobby Shmurda, Chef G, Flocka, what's that weirdo dude named Flocka, Tay Flock. All these people were the most lit in New York, all drill rappers, senseless raps, senseless lyrics, and they were running New York. Not no Black American. Okay. When you look up all these guys' backgrounds, you'll be shocked to see all of them are from the Caribbean. No. So yeah, New York is y'all's, and look how hard New York fell off. But look how poppin' Atlanta have been since we moved down there. Anyway. So I said, matter of fact, let's look at your best rapper, because he said Biggie Small is the illest. Okay, so the tether was like, yo, man, Biggie Small is the illest because he's Jamaican. So he wanted to like throw that in my face. Yeah, Biggie Small is the illest. So I said, all right, let's talk about Biggie Smalls.
Okay, so now he's volunteering. So he wants to get fellatio.
Okay.
Let's say.
He said he'd.
Hold on.
Some of the line. Now, at the time.
All right, let's talk about Biggie.
Hey, man, I respect it, man. I mean, you ain't the only one. I mean, if you ain't a fan, you ain't a fan. But I was checking out your podcast, and you was calling out Biggie for his lyrics. What's the issue with that?
Well, yeah. Well, definitely Biggie has some of the most out-of-pocket lyrics of any rapper ever. And hopefully there will never be a rapper with worse lyrics.
The Island Boy.
But there's so much that Biggie said that people just overlooked at the time.
Right, give him a pass.
And now, when we fast forward to where
That's
we're
why
at,
I always was a Tupac fan. I was never a Biggie fan. Okay, let's make that clear for the record. I was Tupac all day. I was Eazy-E Tupac.
and we hear about all the with Puff, now certain things are not age. You know, it was bad back then, but it's really not aging well now. It's aging even worse. You know, I don't even want to repeat some of the lines, but they're bad.
Nah, repeat
Very
'em.
gay lines. Like, I don't care how good a woman looks, I would never give fellatio to her father because she's so beautiful.
Damn.
Yeah, that was from a Richard Pryor line, who also was a bisexual, who I didn't find that out till later.
So
that was
basically, right. So bisexual is going to say bisexual things. Richard Pryor said it. Biggie said it. Just keep going.
apparently a Richard Pryor joke that he put into a rap. But so what? Like, I don't care if Richard Pryor said it first.
No. He put in a rap because he said what he said. You dig? Because in FBA culture, you don't say that. You don't volunteer yourself and no action like that. No heterosexual man is standing on 10 and say I'm pure heterosexual. You don't. That's not what you do.
Have to use that line, but you did.
Hey, Ron.
He said he'd
hold on. No, let it play, man.
Those ugly escape bitches. I said no. In my mind, I would have.
Oh, okay.
All the ugliest that line, but you did. So that was
So now.
Again, my microphone was janky, so let me just say it now. So Biggie Smalls had some lyrics, but he said he'll rather have sexual relationships with RuPaul than those ugly escape bitches. Okay, so for me, for heterosexual men, he's low key justifying non-heterosexual sexual relationships, right? And trying to make it sound funny because he's saying like he's trying to say these women are so ugly that I mean, this can't even make sense to a heterosexual man. But he's trying to communicate that the escape women, women are so ugly that RuPaul ugliness is more attractive than the ugliness of those women. Now, by the way, if you don't know who Escape is, just kicking it, kick off your shoes and relax your beat. Now, relax your feet, party on down to the Escape beat. Just kick. Tiny is one of them. That's T.I.'s wife. So he is saying RuPaul's more sexier and beautiful than Tiny. And Candy is another one, you know? So he's saying RuPaul is more sexier than Candy from Escape. Okay. Nobody in their right mind, no heterosexual man in right mind would think RuPaul is more sexier and worthy of a sexual relationship over Candy and Tiny. Okay, but this is Biggie Smalls. You know, Tether Dream said he's the illest.
Let's say he had bad moment. He said
a Richard Pryor joke that he put into a rap, but so what?
That's
like,
strike
I don't
one.
care if Richard Pryor said it first. You didn't have to use that line, but you did.
Right. Strike one.
He said he'd RuPaul before he.
Okay, so the first example he gave was Biggie Smalls saying a woman looks so good that he will go down on her father. Now, for no reason, Biggie Smalls said those lyrics, and that was a big song. And when I heard that song, I was like, "What?" And like, nobody really was shocked. I'm like, "What the hell?" Like, nobody gonna say nothing. The dude, she looks so good, I will go down on her father. Right? That was a strike one. And then he said that escape women look so ugly, he'll rather have sexual relationships with RuPaul. That's strike two. Oh, look up Jamaican drag queen Michelle Ross. Oh, I'm gonna do that. Thank you, Love Hate. I'm gonna do that. Okay, so that's strike 2. So now, watch strike 3.
Those ugly escape
to a man, to women, and the other one goes by. So
he said, what'd he say? Liquor be digging me in my asshole. Undercover, Donnie Brasco. He said, I fuck with niggas who kidnap your kids, fuck them in the ass, throw them over a bridge.
He messed with dudes who kidnap kids, screw them in the backside, throw them over the bridge. That's strike 3. So strike 1 was, she looks so good, I go down her father. He's volunteer himself to have oral sexual relationships with a man. Then he'll rather have sexual relationships with RuPaul over 3 heterosexual biological born women. Then he hangs with guys who kidnap people and then go into their backsides sexually. That's Biggie Smalls. That's Biggie Smalls, the illest. You know, the tether dream said Biggie Smalls is the illest.
You know, pause. I'd rather have sexual relationships. I'd rather go who kidnap kids.
Yeah. Then they're gonna go ahead and have a transgender.
Wait, hold on.
Fuck them in the ass, throw them over a bridge.
People, and they'll tell you like this: your daddy,
food, in the fucking flavor in your ear video.
Blue tissue, Stevie, do it. Whatever you said, do it. He's talking about that. Okay, so that.
So then he said that the trans. So now the guy woman, the transgender person that Biggie Small is fantasizing about, okay, the whole time, is now in the same video as him. Then he pointed out the transgender is in another video with Biggie Small. I think he said, I love it when they call me Big Papa. And then he said that the transgender, the same one, it's the third time the transgender was around Biggie. Then the transgender was actually in the bed with Biggie. And I think he said warning. Let me see if I play it. So he said the transgender, let me see if I can find it. Okay. So that's the trans. Look. He's telling the trans, I'd rather deal with you than those 3 escape women. He's telling trans, man, I'll kidnap you and go on your backside. He's telling the trans, man, you look so good, I'll go down on you and your daddy. Okay? Trans dancing right there. I want to see the warning video. Right? He's in the bed. Okay. So you see that's all of it in that. World Star Hip Hop got it. Okay. So now what I'm gonna throw in, family, what I'm gonna throw in is something Lord Jamar didn't say. You know, I got to add some extra research onto this. So watch this. I got some stuff that's not in that, and I'm going to help Lord Jamar out. Okay, so this is a freestyle. This is a freestyle on Funkmaster Flex. It said this is Biggie's freestyle on Funkmaster Flex radio show. Okay, he's rapping. Well, he's getting to it. Hold up, shut this down. It's going down, baby. Funk Flex. We about to black out to Brooklyn with my Mr. C. And I heard Mr. C. Yeah, this is interesting. Hold on, because Mr. C has speculation about himself. Let me see if that's true. Okay. Now you heard the lyrics that Biggie Small just said. You read the lyrics. Rumors surrounding legendary DJ Mr. C, Calvin LeBron, who passed away in April 2024 at age 56, primarily concerned his sexual orientation and past legal issues. While often the subject of intense speculation in the hip hop community, he addressed these topics openly in several interviews before his death. Okay, so trisexual confession. He clarified his identity as trisexual. So this is Mr. C. Mr. C said he is trisexual. What does that mean? He stated that he was open to different experiences, but specifically identified his attraction to transgender women rather than men. So this is Mr. C telling you who he was attracted to. He said he is attracted to transgender women rather than men. He's a trisexual. Okay, in 2021. All right. So this is the guy, the DJ, that Biggie Small. Look, with my ninja, Mr. C. He's with Mr. C. Okay. He said, how the F I get down, big dog, pit bull status, ninja. Okay, yeah, you're now entering the mode of the notorious Biggie Small Junior Mafia clique representing. This one going out to Brooklyn. Y'all know what time it is. It's going out to all the transgenders, gangsters, all the pimps and players and transgender hoes and bitches. Y'all know what time it is. So this is what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to grab your crotch and y'all white men and all y'all Philly men. Delicious. And get you a, I ain't gonna read that. And get a pint of Hennessy and make sure that thing laced up, pass it around, get everybody messed up. I'm going to do this one for my man. Oh my God. I'm going to do this one for my man, Mr. C. Mr. C, who has an attraction, he confessed to having an attraction to transgender women, not men. Biggie is going to do this for his man, Mr. C. Okay? That's his man. That's Biggie man. Biggie man is Mr. C. And so if we ask who's Biggie's small man, notorious B.I.G. man, the answer is Mr. C. He's going to do this for my man, the guy who's attracted to transgender women. He's a trisexual. I'm going to do this for Mr. C. Okay, family, if y'all think that was it, that ain't it. Now let's get into the lyrics. If y'all thought that's all I had, y'all out your goddamn mind. Y'all crazy? How about this? Biggie Smalls, the wickedest. Ninjas say I'm PUSSY. I dare you to stick your DICK in this. If I was a PUSSY, I'd be filled with syphilis, sperm, herpes, gonorrhea, chlamydia, getting rid of ya. Got it locked like the penitentiary. Ninjas mention me for Mr. C execution. Who you choosing? Who you want? You want Mr. C or me? Who you choosing? We both got bras on, see-through thongs, and we abusing. We ain't losing. I know y'all suspect too. I know y'all trans too. You ain't fooling. You get in this bed, I take you to schooling. You dig? Yeah. This guy said, what's up with these lyrics? He said, ninjas say I'm Pussy. I dare you men to stick your DICK in this. If I was a Pussy, I'd be filled with all type of syphilis, herpes, sperm, and things like that. But I dare you, Mr. C, I dare you, Mr. C, to stick your pole in this, stick your stick in this. Y'all say I'm Pussy? Then call me for a date and stick your thing in this. You think maybe I am? Maybe you are. We both can be Pussy. You dig? Yeah. I brought y'all this. Mr. C freestyle, in case I never heard it before. Like I did I had to dig. Had to dig. You know? You dig? This is a no dig. This is a no diggity. Okay, so that's your man. That's 4 times in his lyrics. He referred to some type of non-heterosexual relationship, sexual relationship. Why? I don't know. But it's driving me out of my mind. Okay, that's y'all. Who man is this? If you think he sleeps with transgender men, then he dares you to stick your thing in him. Okay, that's the message. If you think I'm doing that to people, then I dare you to do it to me. I can't bob my head to those lyrics no more. Yeah, I've been off this. Missy was a straight. Yep. Well, these guys were, you know what I mean? They into it. Yeah, these guys were getting it on. And that's probably why he got Tupac shot. And that's probably why everybody is on Biggie's side. Acting like he's so innocent, Tupac is so guilty. Because they all probably was into it as well. Okay, because he was shouting out Fun Master Flex. And you did Fun Master Flex always defending Biggie. Oh, he crying. Tupac, you lied. You lied. Yo, family, maybe Tupac found out about that. Maybe he tried Tupac. Maybe he had one of those things with him. And Tupac like, how? Look at your bitch ass out of here, man. Okay. And he said, well, I cannot let this get out. We got to kill him. Yep. So I'll probably do a short just on that one. Yeah. So who man is that? So that's why we had these conversations. The guy who was here earlier is to get to the truth. All right, family. I start off late. I don't like to come on Sunday late. I know everybody be live late. Everybody be live late Sunday. Plus the Super Bowl. Whatever was on playoffs. Some garbage. I ain't watched 1 second of it. Not watching white quarterbacks play each other. No, sir. That shit look like back in the day football with the ducks, the duck helmets. Yeah. So I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna pick up on, should I flame Anton Daniels? Is it right? Maybe I will. All right, family. Maybe we'll beat up on Anton Daniels tomorrow morning. You dig? So I appreciate y'all, man. Sorry for the late live. I was trying to get things done, but y'all know it's bad weather out here. It messed things up. So appreciate y'all. And just know that when I get into debates, I like to look at the easiest way to resolve everything. So I said, instead of wasting time about who invented breakdancing, graffiti, DJing, MCing, let's just talk about which one they actually give us credit for. And the one they give us credit for happens to be hip hop by itself. The one they know that we definitely had hands and feet on. This one happens to be hip hop by itself. Everybody who was breakdancing, everybody doing graffiti, everybody doing DJing, they all converted to emceeing rap. Okay, those record labels right there, they were signing rappers, not break dancers, graffiti people, taggers, and DJs. Okay, most of their stock, okay, most of their stable are rappers. When you think of hip hop, you think of rap. Rap has become interchangeable with hip hop. Hip hop is on the shoulders of rap. If rap goes away, hip hop is totally dead. All right. So with that being said, family, peace. See you guys tomorrow. We might cook on some